So often we try to build our confidence based in our past experience. So, for example, if we've done something really good, we say, "Oh, well done," and we somehow try to use it to make ourselves feel more confident. But the problem with that is that where we haven't done very well or where things haven't gone well in the past, we naturally don't feel very confident. And then you're in a tricky position because often you need some confidence to be able to build confidence. And it's a bit of a self-defeating thing. And it's really easy to go round and round in circles if you do it that way. Also, people who feel a lot of fear or who feel weak can find it very difficult to find any confidence at all. And life will then tend to confirm that, because when they don't feel confident, they don't get such good results, or maybe they don't even try to do things that will get them results. And that will then just confirm their lack of confidence and build on it. And the people who get really good results and who do really well, that's okay, but there's an issue if your confidence is not too natural, because what tends to happen is that you become overconfident at a certain point. If you're the person who always wins, you're the person who's always in control, you're the person who's always the leader, there comes a point where the confidence that you build through that accumulation of success will let you down, because you will be relying on your past rather than relying on something that is more powerful than you. And the honest truth is that a human being on their own cannot see all the situations, cannot rely on themselves. You need to rely on so many other people and so many external circumstances to be able to manage complex situations. So I believe that kind of overconfidence which arises in many leaders and can become quite dominating and controlling of others, even if it's not how you mean to be. And it can also become very manipulative, because you get extremely good at just getting people where you want them to be. You know how to talk to get them to do what you want. It looks good because you get the results that you're looking for, but it is self-limiting because you don't get the results you didn't even know were possible. Everything is under your control. Now, at a certain point, that will just fail. It won't work anymore. Life will throw you a curveball, so to speak. And that kind of confidence can really let you down then. Or the other thing that can happen is you can find that you're very confident in one area of your life, but in another area of your life, it just doesn't work at all. It's almost as though you have no resources in the other area, because you're relying on your experience and confidence and control in the area where you feel really strong. So I see this very commonly in business owners who are very, very confident in business and have a huge amount of experience to support that confidence. And yet in their personal relationships, they can be really quite astonishingly incapable and confused, because the confidence and experience they've built up in their business just doesn't work. Actually, you'll find the same thing in their health, that they are often not able to handle health situations nearly as well as they handle business situations. In health, it perhaps doesn't show up so much, because very often they will use medication to solve problems and put off the real problems till later, because they don't solve them at the root, which doesn't mean to say you should never use medication. What I'm saying is, if you really want to deal with your health, you still need to get to the root of the problem. Getting rid of a headache by taking a painkiller doesn't get rid of the root of the headache. It just means you don't feel the pain of it so much, and it just passes. But you may easily get another one and have to use another painkiller. So that kind of overconfidence that's expressed in one area and isn't available in other areas can actually make you feel quite weak in the end. And it also forces you to compartmentalize, because you have to kind of have a different hat for the areas where you don't feel strong, because you don't want them to contaminate the strength that you feel in your main area. So what I want to talk about is a kind of natural confidence, which is the same approach for every area of your life, and which doesn't let you down, because it doesn't have you relying so much on your past experience that you don't notice, or you're not prepared for the new opportunities and the new challenges that life will throw at you at some time, because that's what life does. Life is always providing us with opportunities to grow. And some of those come through challenges. Sometimes the challenges are way beyond what we feel our capability is. Sometimes they feel really difficult and challenging and profoundly unwanted. It's like, I didn't want this to happen. And you can feel as though life is doing something to you that you didn't deserve, or you just have to handle, you have to face. But your whole attitude, what I see very commonly, is like, I'll just get through this and then everything will be okay. So the kind of confidence that I'm talking about is based in a much deeper awareness of how life actually works, a much deeper awareness of where we source our solutions and our answers to questions and all the real resources that we need. Because in the end, all of that is sourced in our aliveness, which is our energy. It's not sourced in our past experience. If you're not alive, if you don't have fresh energy flowing through you, it doesn't matter how many resources you have, how clever you are. It doesn't matter what past experience you have. There is nothing going on. Things go on in life because you're alive. And you're alive because you are receiving fresh energy. You have energy passing through you, life force energy, which is a human being's life energy that makes you alive as a human being. It's not to put it in a slightly macabre way, it's not the energy of a human being turning into worms and compost and, the natural aliveness that continues after death. This is the aliveness of you receiving that human being message, that human being energy, that unique energy that is your signature on life, that is partially the same as other people's, the humanness, the heartbeat, the lungs breathing, but it is also absolutely unique to you, because you have a unique energy signature that nobody on this planet shares. So that energy is not something static. It's not like a signature that's been imprinted on you. It's an alive formation, constant reforming formation of you at an energetic level that produces your body. So it produces your physical existence. It produces your circumstances, your physical circumstances. It produces your environment and everything that shows up in that environment. All of that is fundamentally determined by the energy that you're receiving. And therefore, if you are awake and alive to the energy that you're receiving, that is where all the creating goes on in your life. That is where your body is formed and reformed. That's where your cells are changed. That is where your physical environment is formed and reformed and changed. It's where your opportunities are formed. It's where the challenges are formed. It's where your responses to challenges are formed. It's where answers to questions are formed. And it's where solutions to problems are formed. All of this is formed in the energy signature of your life, the energy pattern, the energy message, or the energy coding of your life. It's not formed at the physical level. The physical level is the product of the energy level. And so how you connect with that energy that is what forms you, is what literally creates you, is absolutely critical if you want to have natural confidence. Because natural confidence is being able to come up with solutions when there's no solution that's apparent. It's having answers to questions that you've never been asked before. It's being able to find a path forward when there's no obvious path. That gives you confidence. It's not being able to do what you've done 100,000 times before. That's one kind of confidence. But what happens if something new comes along? Suddenly your confidence fails. So having this natural confidence doesn't prevent you from repeating things where you need to. But what you'll find is every time you apparently repeat a situation, it actually turns out to be new. When you're connected with that new energy, you will find that you bring something new to every situation. And therefore life becomes far more creative than you've experienced it before, far more interesting. And there's a lot more growth opportunity in it than is apparent if you're always relying on old resources. So how do you open up to that new energy? When you're very relaxed in this way that I teach, which is about receiving energy, you may feel a kind of flow. You may feel the energy coming in. Essentially, it comes in through the crown. That's largely where we experience it. Although you can experience energy being received throughout your whole being. So I sometimes receive it more like, or experience it like a kind of total openness. It's an openness at the cellular and beyond cellular level. And that's something that I can feel that's all around me. It's almost like I can feel my energy field. I can sense that energy signature that is all the energy that goes to make up my individual life as far as it can be individuated. And I can sense into this kind of field, a kind of ball, a kind of powered up space around me. And I can sense into the freshness of that. Or I can sense into a flow of fresh energy literally through my crown and through my body. You may sense it more in your body, a flow or an electricity or waves, or you may experience some kinds of colors or other energy sensations which all point to that energy. I wouldn't get fixated on any particular sense of energy, but practice staying really open and sensing deeply into what's going on as you are open. The energy is literally imprinted with really powerful solutions. That energy is very free and flexible. So, for example, if you're open to new energy and you ask a question, you receive answers that you have never known before. And because the new energy is more evolved than the old energy, those answers are more evolved than the answers you would have come up with through your own experience, even through putting together multiple experiences and kind of being creative with your own experience. The new energy that comes in is like a direct answer to your question, because energy is absolutely responsive to the questions that you form. That new energy, if you're looking for a solution, it will bring you a solution if you're open to it that is greater than any solution you could find, but only if you're open to it. So natural confidence remains open to great solutions, to powerful paths forward, to creative answers to questions. It doesn't just look for the minimum viable option. It creates greatness if you're open to greatness. If you're open to the minimum viable option, that's what you'll get. Not because that's what's possible, but because that's what you've limited yourself to. If you open yourself to greatness consistently and powerfully, not once in a while, but increasingly, more and more, you will find that energy delivers you great solutions. And you won't become a clone or feel that you're on some kind of track over which you have no control, like some kind of destiny or fate, because all of this depends on the questions that you form, the solutions that you look for. So it's entirely up to you what you open up to, what you say yes to in your life. If you say yes to a limited solution, that's what you'll get. But if you say yes to a great solution, then you create the openness for energy to provide you with great solutions. So real confidence relies in you being open. It doesn't rely on this past formation of solid strength. It relies on your ability to open, to be receptive to energy, and also to your ability to invite in really powerful energy. So if you're receptive to energy, but you don't see options for powerful solutions, then the energy that you receive will be more limited. Whereas if you are open to greatness, that is an amazing combination.